The South China Sea is on edge morning. Beneath the tranquil surface, a storm of tension is brewing, threatening to disrupt the fragile peace that has held for years. The world's attention is fixed on these waters, where the stakes have never been higher. Tensions are boiling over as Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militia vessels mass near Reed Bank. Their presence is not just a show of force, it's a calculated move, a demonstration of Beijing's determination to assert its claims over these contested waters. The sheer number of ships signals a readiness to escalate, if challenged. This is no routine patrol, it's a direct challenge to the Philippines' right to develop a critical natural gas field. The Reed Bank holds vast reserves, vital for the Philippines' energy security and economic future. Filipino workers on the rigs know they are on the front lines of a geopolitical struggle, their livelihoods hanging in the balance. The world is watching, uncertain of what comes next. The U.S. Navy has responded, with the USS Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group moving toward the disputed area. The arrival of American warships is a powerful reminder that the South China Sea is not just a regional issue, it's a global flashpoint, drawing in major powers. Officials call it a routine operation, but the timing is a clear signal to Beijing and reassurance to the Philippines. The South China Sea, a vital artery for global trade, is now a chessboard for regional dominance. Every year, trillions of dollars in goods pass through these waters, making stability here essential for the world economy. China's sweeping claims clash with its neighbors' rights, especially after a 2016 tribunal ruling favored the Philippines. Manila is determined to develop resources within its exclusive economic zone, but Beijing ignores international rulings, enforcing its claims with a growing fleet. Protests erupt in Manila as citizens demand their government stand firm against foreign encroachment. The situation is fluid. The Philippines has issued a diplomatic protest and placed its Coast Guard on high alert. Fishermen are warned away and U.S. warships are on heightened readiness. Every radar contact and communication is scrutinized. This is not a drill. The tension is palpable, with every decision carrying the weight of potential escalation. The stakes are high. A single miscalculation could spark a conflict with global consequences. The South China Sea has become the world's most dangerous flashpoint. Military commanders on all sides know that even a minor incident could spiral out of control, drawing in nations far beyond the region. The U.S. presence is a message. International norms matter. China's actions test the resolve of the global community. The Philippines stands at the center, its sovereignty and future on the line. The next move could reshape the region. The world holds its breath. The crisis is real, and the outcome is uncertain. As leaders meet behind closed doors and warships patrol the waves, the fate of the South China Sea and the peace of the wider world hangs in the balance. For the Philippines, Reed Bank is more than just a territorial claim. It's about survival, national pride, and the hope for a secure future. This contested area in the South China Sea holds the promise of energy that could power the nation for generations. With the Malampaya gas field running dry, the vast untapped reserves beneath Reed Bank have become absolutely crucial for the country's energy security. Without them, the Philippines risks losing its main domestic energy source. Without new sources of energy, the country faces rolling blackouts, higher electricity bills, and a growing dependence on expensive imported fuel. This threatens not only the economy, but also the daily lives of millions of Filipinos. Developing Reed Bank could transform the economy, lower energy costs, create thousands of jobs, and spark new industries. It's a chance to build a more resilient and prosperous nation. For over 115 million people, energy independence means stability, opportunity, and a brighter future for every community across the archipelago. Yet, Chinese interference is seen as economic coercion, blocking Manila from accessing its own resources and threatening the country's sovereignty. The frustration in Manila is real and growing. Energy independence has become a national priority, uniting leaders and citizens alike in a common cause. The Philippines has sought international partners, invested in new technology, and prepared for drilling, but faces constant harassment and intimidation from Chinese forces determined to maintain control. This standoff is about more than resources. It's about a nation's right to control its destiny, protect its people, and secure its future. The fight for Reed Bank is, ultimately, a fight for the Philippines' future, a struggle for hope, independence, and the promise of a better tomorrow. The South China Sea is more than just a body of water. It's a global economic superhighway, a vital artery connecting continents and economies. Every day, Thousands of ships navigate these crowded lanes, carrying goods, fuel, and resources that power industries and homes around the world. In fact, the South China Sea is at the heart of global trade, with shipping routes that link Asia, Europe, and the Americas in a vast network of commerce. 1/3 of world shipping, over $3 trillion in trade, passes through these waters each year, making it one of the busiest and most important maritime corridors on the planet. Any disruption here, whether from conflict, piracy, or political tension, sends shockwaves through the global supply chain, causing delays, shortages, and rising costs everywhere. That's why nations like the US, Japan, Australia, and the EU care deeply about stability here. They know their economies depend on the free flow of goods through these waters. The principle at stake is freedom of navigation, a cornerstone of international law that ensures all nations can trade and travel without interference. If one country were to control these sea lanes, it could effectively hold the global economy hostage, dictating who can pass and who cannot. For countries like Japan and South Korea, the South China Sea is a lifeline, delivering the energy and raw materials they need to keep their societies running. In response, security partnerships have strengthened, with nations working together to uphold a rules-based order and deter threats to peace and stability. U.S. warships aren't just protecting Philippine interests. They're safeguarding the free movement of global commerce, ensuring that markets remain open and connected. Every time a carrier group transits these waters, it's a powerful reminder that these are international waters, open to all and closed to none. The world's economic health, growth, and prosperity depend on keeping this vital artery open and secure for everyone. The stakes are truly global. What happens here affects us all, no matter where we live. China's moves in the South China Sea are part of a long-term strategy. The 9-dash line claims nearly 90% of the sea, overlapping with its neighbors' zones. China has built artificial islands, turning reefs into military outposts, with runways, ports, and missile systems. These unsinkable carriers let Beijing project power far from its coast. China also uses a vast coast guard and maritime militia to intimidate rivals, operating below the threshold of open conflict. Swarming, ramming, and water cannons are common tactics. The goal: establish control without firing a shot. For China, dominance here secures trade, energy, and a strategic buffer. It's about nationalism, economic growth, and pushing the US further out. For Beijing, control of the South China Sea is non-negotiable. The US Navy is a constant presence in the South China Sea. Freedom of navigation operations challenge excessive claims and uphold international law. These patrols deter aggression and reassure allies. For China, US warships raise the cost of any hostile move. For allies, they're a sign of American commitment. The goal: prevent miscalculation and maintain stability. US sailors operate in tense, complex conditions, often encountering Chinese vessels. Every transit is a message. The seas are open to all. The US seeks not conflict, but the preservation of rules that keep the peace. These operations are the front line of maritime diplomacy. The Reed Bank crisis has revived the US-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty. Signed in 1951, it commits both nations to defend each other against armed attack. Washington now makes clear attacks on Philippine forces in the South China Sea trigger US obligations. This backing emboldens Manila to defend its maritime rights. The alliance is more than words. It's joint patrols, military exercises, and security assistance. US support modernizes the Philippine military and boosts confidence. For China, any move against the Philippines risks US involvement. The alliance complicates Beijing's strategy and raises the stakes. It's a central pillar of regional security. The US-Philippines partnership is now a key factor in the South China Sea equation. The South China Sea dispute is about more than energy or territory. For the Philippines and its neighbors, it's a fight for sovereignty and independence. If China prevails, it could dictate the policies of smaller states and undermine international law. For China, success means regional dominance and secure energy lines. For the US and the world, it's a test of the post-war order and freedom of navigation. The outcome will shape the rules of the 21st century. The Reed Bank standoff is a microcosm of a larger global struggle. The stakes: the balance of power for generations. The world is watching, and the consequences will be felt far beyond these waters. The future of the Indo-Pacific hangs in the balance.